Agents.
Hey all.
Hope you all are doing well today. We're going to keep you for about 15 minutes. I hope you enjoy your time. You can always come back later and watch it again. Today I want to introduce you to Todd St.Germain. Todd is a coach and he lives locally here in Hampton Roads. And as you guys know, we've been trying to talk more and more about asking powerful questions, listening skills, and a lot of these coaching things, as well as using coaching to help you guys grow your business. So I asked Todd to come in today and talk to us about SMART goals. So Todd, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure.
And then let's talk about SMART goals.
All right, I've been coaching since first of all, hey all. I've been coaching since about 2008 with Life Forming Coach out of Virginia Beach. Just an awesome organization, shameless plug. I'm also one of their coach trainers, so I raise up coaches and train leaders. So one of the things I'm known for is raising emotional IQ or team culture. And one of the ways that we do that is helping people define goals, helping people pursue goals, and helping really people defining the outcome of the things that they're putting their hands to. So it's exciting stuff for me, and I'm just really honored to be with all you guys today. So I hope I bring value to your lives.
So tell us about SMART goals.
Sure. Well, SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. So whenever you're looking at a dream or a hope and you don't have it defined, it's really hard to put your thumb on it. It's really hard to bring it to completion. So I've noticed when working with different people that one of the things that people do is they don't put a definition or a tangible framework around the goals that they have in their life. So they might have a goal, they might have a dream, they might have something that they're pursuing, but they can't wrap their head around it because they haven't defined how to make it SMART. So what a SMART goal does is it puts just really a thumbprint on that or a framework around that goal that you're trying to accomplish. So as you walk through that S.M.A.R.T, your goal becomes SMART. It can be something that you attain, it can be something that you can hold yourself accountable to either your boss or a colleague, and it becomes much easier to pursue that goal and define it and achieve it.
So the acronym is SMART. So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely.
Yes.
So what's the best way for us to demonstrate this?
Well, I'd actually like to try to, in this next 12 minutes or so, is to write out a SMART goal with you just verbally so people can grab a hold of it.
Okay.
So if we're trying to look at life and just taking a minute or two, what I usually do with my clients is I use a tool called the Wheel of Life. And I don't know if you've ever heard of that. You take your life, you divide it up into pie pieces, and just like life, this wheel shows you that you can't have a square wheel or part of your wheel being lopsided because it's really hard to roll down the road. So when you take that wheel of life and define it and take those core values of yourself and make it a circle, your life becomes much more easier to maneuver and go down the road. We can also take a chunk of that pie out and look into the business aspect, which we're doing here with real estate and with Simon Realty and all that you guys are doing, Fit Realty. And when we look at that definition of business, there's certain structures inside that business that have to work together as a gear or a wheel. So I know that there's certain tools that you have in place for your team to work on and do, and if any one of those things are a little bit off, it's hard for them to achieve, it's hard for them to not get frustrated when they have goals or they have certain things every month that they have to answer to you or their direct report for. This SMART goal can really help that become easier for them to attain. Mm-hmm. So looking through the eyes of a realtor, think of something a goal that an average realtor would try to accomplish. And we haven't gone over this anymore, so I want to just show people how easy this is.
Yeah.
But if you can just kind of come up with a goal off the top of your head, go for it.
I have a goal. So I was a full-time real estate agent about, I don't know, my wife knows better, but about 10 years ago or so, for about 3 years or 4 years. And I have a past client list, and my past client list, I have always thought it'd be cool if I could have passed my past clients on to a specific agent in my group and then help them connect to those clients and basically take over my past clients to get referrals. But I never did that. So my past clients, they get postcards because the company sends out to all our past clients postcards. But that's all. So if you could coach me on that SMART goal, maybe if we can make a goal.
Love that.
So it's been about maybe 8 years since I've spoken to any of my past clients.
Okay. So they've gotten postcards for the last 8 years.
They've gotten postcards for like 8 years.
Man, you're committed.
Yeah. And some of our agents, you know, when my clients do call back in, they go to different agents, but I'm not getting the referrals or anything.
Okay.
But because of the postcards, they might call the hotline and get somebody on my team. But I want to be more proactive to build a relationship because I liked a lot of them. Not all of them. Some of them I hate them, but some of them.
Is it all right if I ask a couple clarifying questions before we go?
Yes.
What is the form that you list that you have? Is it in?
I have it in our Lead Ignite system. It's so I can export it as an Excel or a CSV, or I have a list of their names, addresses, and I might have their phone numbers. I would need to look.
Okay. In your opinion, how long would it take for you to make that list shareable to somebody?
Very well. If I wanted to make sure I had phone numbers, I would need to see how long that would take me. But I know that I can get the list in like half an hour, like the list that we've been mailing all these years.
Okay.
You know, very easily.
Okay. Second question I have for you is there a specific group or person that you wanted to share it with? Have you decided that yet?
I haven't, because I haven't really teased this out, I haven't thought about which agent in our group would have the time and care enough to try to go and get my past clients.
Okay.
So I would need to give that some thought, and maybe somebody will, ask from watching this FaceTime Live, and they can take all my old clients.
Right.
They're not very good, probably, so many years, but they might be. I don't know.
Maybe lukewarm at best.
Yeah. So I could possibly talk to Heather,
So
sales manager.
don't drill down too deep yet. I'm just getting some service questions before we go
Okay.
down. And then the third question that would help just to clarify me so I can coach you down into a SMART goal is what's the outcome that you're wanting from sharing the list?
I would like to, if an agent were able to take that and they were willing to put some time in, and they could get maybe 3 sales a year, is that? I don't know if that's. I don't know what's realistic.
Okay.
But I would think they can get 3 sales a year if they made my sphere their sphere.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, let me reiterate what I'm hearing, because I'm actually hearing, just because I've done this a little while and I've worked out SMART goals with people, I hear 3 specific SMART goals that we could focus on. One would be the actual finalization of the list. The second one would be the handoff, who you're handing it off to. And the third would be defining the outcome that you want from it. So you can kind of see as you talk through a goal, it becomes really clear the different paths that goal has to take. So a lot of times people come with a goal like you have, and it's a great idea, but that's as far as it gets. It's just a dream. It's an unrefined goal because they don't see the steps that it takes to it. So what I want to do with you today is to look at that goal, but then break it down in 3 parts, and then ask you, in your opinion, which one of those 3 parts kind of rises to the top for you. Do you see working on the list being more important? Do you see working on the person that you're going to hand it off to? Or do you feel that defining the actual outcome would help motivate the rest of it for you?
Of the 3 things, I think defining the outcome, what would I expect the person, if I'm not going to call my past clients and I can find it, pick an agent that they're wanting to do it, how uncomfortable would that be for them to call my past? So I guess thinking through the strategy of, do I want them to call my past clients? Do I want them to email them, go to their house, take them a present? That's probably the most fuzzy in my head. Because getting the list I can get from the web team. Picking the agent, I should talk to Heather and whatever. But this, I probably could use help because it feels foggy in my head.
Okay. So let's bring it back around then and start with the S on SMART, which is specific.
Okay.
How can we make that part of this goal specific? And what I mean by that would be, I want this person to sell 3 houses in a year. Isn't specific enough because it's really, that's the outcome of the outcome, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
If we're really drilling down into the SMART goal of you having an outcome of what you want from the person to share, let's try to drill it down into just 1 sentence or 2 really easy sentences that you share. If you can't share this concretely, it's going to be really hard for it to be a SMART goal. In your head and in my head and in most people's head, especially someone, a leader like you, a boss like you, you're very visionary, but if someone's not in your head, they're not going to really understand all the facets of what you're thinking. So the goal of a SMART goal really is to share it with someone so they get it. You really want to specify your future target. And if you can't specify that future target, someone else isn't going to be able to grab onto it. So try to boil down that thought into a sentence.
Is it too foggy to say, being that I sold houses to almost all buyers, I bet there's 5 people who will list their house for sale if someone will call with a good spiel about, you know, our company and give them an update about our company. Like, if they call all, let's just say it's 50 people, I don't know how many people it is, but let's say we get it down to 50 people. If they contact all 50 people, I bet they can get maybe 5 listings.
Okay.
And build some level of relationship with maybe 5 of the people.
Okay.
I
think that's
clear?
I think that's a great idea.
Does that fit the specific?
It doesn't, but it's because we're working through the idea right now. Okay. So let me put a little bit of definition on it just for ease of the people watching and for the time that we have. Let's say that we're gone through those other 2 first parts that you're going to do, which is condensing the list, making it shareable, picking the group of the people that you want to give it to. Let's call that owner. And the reason I'm doing that is so we can actually start communicating the owner of this list will, boom.
Okay.
So try to bring that thought, that idea that you just had, but start it with the owner of this list. And we're quote unquote saying the owner is the person that you're handing this list off to.
Okay.
This is what's actually the person that owns this list, they're going to accomplish. So start your specific part of the SMART goal by saying the owner of this list will.
The owner of this list will pursue to build relationship with the hand-selected people that I provide with the hopes of landing, you know, X amount of listings.
That's half of the size it was before, so you made huge progress. Good job. So let's boil it down one more time and think about what you just said. It was right on, but now just condense it down just a little bit further.
The owner of this list will make money from the list.
The owner of this list will make money from this list. It's close.
Yeah.
Let's add in the M of SMART, which is measurable.
Okay.
The measurable part of the goal, it's just like working out. Let's say you want to be in shape someday. You can't just say, I'm going to be in shape someday. Just like the owner of this list is going to make money from this list. It's a goal, but there'd be no way to measure it when you got there, right? Yeah. So let's put a little bit of a measurement in that
Okay.
real condensed sentence you just said. I think it's great. Now we can grow it back out a little bit. So you boiled it down to the owner of this list will make money from this list. Put a little bit of measurement on there now. Originally you said sell 3 houses in 1 year.
Right. Then I changed that to 5 listings.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking maybe, you know, maybe they could get double headers, you know, buyer and seller. But the people probably need to sell their house. They bought their house when the market was high. The market's better. So the owner of this list will contact my past clients, let them know that the market has gone up and that our company's better than ever, better than when they had me as their agent. Now I'm just wordy again.
No,
but you see where I'm going. So then the owner of this list will alert my consumers that it's a great time to sell their home, try to build a relationship with them, and create long-term income that's not measurable.
Okay, so let me help you out just once again for ease of those that are watching. And this is just a process that we can walk through. I want to be time conscious to the 15 minutes that we got, you guys. Is that okay? All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to take out the task that you're actually wanting them to do, which is to contact them, to share how much.
Taking that out, focus on the goal.
That's the known.
Okay.
The known is, okay, when you contact these people, you're going to share with them how good our company is, you're going to share with them that the market's shifted, you're going to share with them that this is a great time to buy and sell. So that's the known. We can kind of put that over here on the piece of paper. But let's go back to the owner of this list will make money from this list by
maintaining long-term relationships with my past sphere.
Okay. You're onto something, but I want to put a little bit of measurement on there. Do you mind if I throw a little hook out there for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So a measurable would be like I need to lose 10 pounds in 30 days. I need to make another $500 a month starting in June. By putting a measurable, attainable number on it, it's going to help. So going back and visiting what you said earlier, 5 listings, 3 listings, 5 houses, put a real measurable number that if someone shared with you, hey, I've sold at 1.5 or I've sold 7, you'd know where
if they do 5 houses, if they list 5 of these houses, most of them were about 200,000 average sales price. So 5 times 2 is $1 million, so they'll get maybe $1 million of sales in a year.
Okay, so the owner of this list will use this list to
attain $1 million worth of ratified sales per year for eternity.
I love it. I love it. So that brings us to A, and you set me up really well. The SMART goal has to be attainable. So we can't build a goal that someone's going to do for eternity as much as I want to.
Because they'll be dead.
Yeah, exactly. So let's bring it back and say the owner of this list will make money from this list by
maintaining long-term relationships.
Okay, you're going back to that. We solved that part of it by making $1 million a year.
Got it.
Or selling $1 million a year. Attainable. Let's quantify a little bit, and you have to do this a little bit now, and I know those that are watching may not fall into this scheme, but since you're sharing this list and we're using this as an object lesson or a live demonstration of how to do this, since your goal is to actually share it with someone, since we've defined this, that you want the person to sell $1 million worth of real estate, that kind of shrinks down the list of who you're going to actually share this with. There's probably some agents that may not be able to do that quite yet. There might be some agents that are completely qualified with that. So as you drill down into a SMART goal, it actually helps you with the other parts of it. Because now you can say, okay, there's 15 people that can do this. There's 3 that I'm still working on that can't quite get there yet. So it helps you by working through a SMART goal to say, okay, if I'm making this goal attainable, do I need to widen it now for everyone that I hand it off to, or do I need to condense it now and just get really specific who I'm sharing with? So as you make this SMART goal attainable, it's also going to help you, in this specific instance, it's going to help you choose the person that you're going to share the list with. So as we rewrite that SMART goal, just think that in mind. Are you making this attainable for a specific kind of person, or are you doing this fit realty wide with this list?
I think it's such a small list, a single person could do it. Now, there might be a couple people, just for personality, I would recommend, if I get somebody with my similar personality, they will probably like that. There are some clients that didn't like my personality, so there might be a few to give to another agent, or it's probably just one person who kind of takes on my, they're my buddy and they're going to win them over, kind of thing.
Right.
So I think one person is probably okay.
Okay. So now that you're boiling that down to, you can get much more specific with the measurement, because who you're having attain it is different. It's not a global fit realty person. Now you're drilling down to, okay, let's rewrite specifically the measurement and the attainableness of that person. So the SMART goal is getting much more specific now. It's getting much more measurable, and the attainment isn't fit realty wide. It's that one person that you're starting to
The one
focus
person
on.
is trying to attain this specific goal.
Right. So the owner of this list will make money from this list by.
Is it specific enough for me to say the owner of this list will make money from this list by building a relationship with my past clients? Or that's...
It really needs to have a number. So if you say 10 of my past clients.
So let's say
3 of my past clients a month. If you say 25 of my past clients in 6 months. So if you give it a measurable target, if you just say they're going to continue relationships with your past clients, it's real hard to define what that means. So you really have to put a measurable number on it. Even if it's a shooting for the moon number.
Yeah.
You at least have a number.
Yeah. I like the idea of shooting for 5 listings.
Okay.
But then the question is how many calls do they need to make a month? Do they call everybody?
Well,
we need to get into that or not?
Let's write the first SMART goal, and then what usually happens from the SMART goal, Brian, is you actually start action steps from the SMART goal. So you're actually digging down into the action steps. Some people might not think that completely about writing a goal, so that's why it's real important to start with the SMART goal, and then once that's written in a tangible way that you can share with people, then you can start building the action steps to get towards that goal. So jumping back and making it measurable, saying the owner of this list will make money from this list by contacting
all 50 people,
within,
3 months.
okay. Okay, so see how that's specific, it's measurable, attainable. Is this list relevant to you? That's the R of SMART.
The only thing that makes this whole thing not relevant is just the age, how many years I haven't spoken, which I know I've talked to some of the agents in our group who feel like they haven't, they had that same feeling. I haven't called them in 5 years. What do I say when I call them?
Right.
But I think it's relevant. I think if people call, if somebody calls my past people and they connect, I think that they can get some of them on board, I think.
Let me bring you this part of relevance. Would selling $1 million in real estate in the next year be relevant to the person that you hand it off to?
Would it be worth their trouble? And therefore worth it for them to...
Because it's going to be a special person it's got to be good at semi-cold call, lukewarm call,
right.
dealing with customer.
Yeah.
And that person that you're thinking of that's going to get this list, is it going to be relevant to them to be able to work that little bit extra hard to make $1 million in sales?
Yeah. I think so. If it's only 50 people, I could probably get somebody that would be into that.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. And you already added
I think it'll be relevant. It's for their income wise, it might be around 15,000. For them for a year. There's probably somebody will probably be willing to get up earlier.
I love it. I love it. And for the sake of this demonstration, because we only have 15 minutes, I'm speeding along a little bit just because I'm hoping that you're grasping what we're doing here. But as we take that big goal, that big idea of, man, I have this list of 50 people that we've been sending postcards to for about 8 years. I bet you some of those could turn into a sale. That dream that's in your head, now we've talked together and you've actually made it smart. You've actually made it specific. You've made it measurable. You made it attainable. You made it relevant. And you made it timely to the point where you could call someone, hey, Todd, come into my office, and you could share a goal. Hey, I have this goal that I want to share with you. I have this contact list of 50 people that we've been sending postcards to for 8 years. I would like you to make money off this list by
calling these people with this script about what I can even type that out for them.
Okay.
Like I could be like, you bought a house from Brian in 1999.
So once again, let's bring it back to the measurable just for those that are watching.
Yeah.
You want the owner of this list who's sitting at your desk right now, here in the store, maybe for the first time, maybe you've planted seeds, but regardless, now they're sitting at the table with you and you're sharing with them, okay, you're the owner of this list. I want you to contact X number of people in X amount of time with the goal of you making this money.
Mm-hmm.
You see how it has those 3 measurable points?
Yeah.
How can you boil that down to just a two-sentence goal that you want to share with the owner of this list that you're handing it off to? Let me give you an example.
Good luck.
One of the things I love about SMART goals is that you can write it on a 3x5 card. And for me, I'm a real goal guy. I love goals. I love dreaming. I'm a huge dreamer. I'm a huge visionary. But I like to define my goals because in my line of work and the things that I do, I have to hand off a lot of things to people. So they don't have the benefit of being in my head 24/7. The things that swirl in my head all the time, I have to be able to get them down even to the point where they can write it on a 3x5 card, put it on their mirror in the morning, put it on the dashboard of the car, and they can remind themselves, okay, this is the defined goal that I have, and this is what I'm going to do. So one of the things about SMART goals that's really beneficial from your perspective and how we're writing this, and it also translates over if you're writing your own personal goals. If you can boil this SMART goal down into a 3x5 card, you can have it on your mirror when you're brushing your teeth, and it can motivate you every morning. You can be driving to work or driving around doing listings or chasing leads, and you can read this SMART goal. So as you hand this SMART goal off to this owner, which is your intent, which is what you're doing with this to release it to them, how can you make it so they could put it on a 3x5 card and be reminded of the specific nature of this SMART goal? So the owner of this list will
take ownership of the list. Okay. Because if they take ownership in their own hearts, like Brian's handing these over to me and I'm going to take them into my account and I'm going to make them my people just like I would treat my own past clients.
Love it.
Then I guess, really, I don't know.
Okay.
It's because it's really like they're rolling what there is. they already, all the agents probably already have a goal to stay in relationship with their own past clients. So if they adopt my clients just became part of their goal, right? Is that?
No, it makes sense. And what I'm trying to help you walk out in building the SMART goal is, in order to make it refined, you have to put a measurable framework around it. So if you're handing off a list to someone, and now the outcome of the list is shifting in your head, that's why we're defining this. Because the person that you hand this off to, and I'm talking from your perspective, not necessarily those that are listening perspective, but if you hand off a goal to your employee or someone that you're giving a part of your list to, and they're not able to define what that goal actually is, then there's unmet expectations, there's failure, there's frustration, because they're not really able to wrap their head around, okay, what is it that Brian's wanting me to do with this list? So when you hand off something like this to someone, giving them a framework to say, okay, I've succeeded, or man, I'm really falling short with this, is how you set people up to succeed in a handoff like this. Succession plans, legacy plans, all those things all fail because there isn't a framework that people can wrap their head around. So as you write out this SMART goal based on this list, you have to set the person up that you're handing the list off to succeed.
With clear expectations.
Exactly. And a SMART goal
measurable expectation.
Right. And a SMART goal helps clarify that expectation. Because then you know when they're there, they know when they're there, and then also both of you looking at it together, you'll be able to say, you know what, this isn't really working. I'm having a hard time with this, I'm having a hard time with that. But it all boils down to you actually putting that measurable framework around the goal. So kind of coming back up a little bit and looking at that goal and just taking another shot at it before we answer some of these questions, or I answer some questions specifically that you have. Can you try to rewrite, to the best of your ability, that handoff to that owner of that list? Give them a SMART goal, give them a framework that they can wrap their hands around.
Can you do a practice one for me? Like if you were going to wrap it up in, how would you wrap it up for me? Normally you would want me to do that.
I get you. Knowing a little bit, just hearing this goal for the first time today, knowing a little bit what you're trying to accomplish, I would say something similar to: the owner of this list will make money from this list by contacting these 50 people in the next 90 days.
So that's the specific goal.
That would be the first SMART goal that I would do with this specific list.
Okay.
So you're going to spend some time on the back end building this list, making it clear.
Right. But when it comes to
you're going to work with your team to actually pick the person you're going to hand it off to. And then when you meet with the person, you say, hey, here's my list. The first goal I have for you is to contact all 50 of these people with this script in the next 90 days. Because then you can revisit it at 30, 60,
how's it going?
90.
Did they just say, I hate it, Brian? Click,
Right. And I always bring it back to, losing weight, or it's so easy to use that as a demonstration. But if my goal was to lose 5 pounds in the next 90 days, at day 90, I would be able to say, I've lost 90 pounds. Now what's my next SMART goal? What's my next goal? Achieving a goal is one thing. But if you don't have an ability to measure it, then you can't go on to the next goal. So the first goal that I would recommend, if you're asking me to recommend, would be something similar to that, with the idea at 90 days you would revisit it and say, okay, now that we've contacted these 50 people, how many of those rose to the top? 7 of them, 10 of them? What do we do next with those 10 people? And that gives you that framework of starting the engagement, starting the relationship, moving forward, but then you can actually drill down and find out what your next goal is with that. So a SMART goal always leads to that dream, or that big, hairy, audacious thing in the room, that big elephant in the room that you're talking about. It really gives you the ability to take a bite out of it. And once you take that first bite and accomplish it, then everyone feels successful. There's a win. Everyone gets excited, and then you can focus on what's the next bite. What's the next bite? So whenever you're dealing with SMART goals, and especially something like a list like this, and you can take it to cleaning your bedroom, or getting on a workout routine, or growing lists, whatever it might be in your life. When you can actually make a SMART goal out of it, it gives you the ability to pursue it, to define it and pursue it, but then it shows you all the other little pieces that need to go along with it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it really is. It takes the fog. Using SMART goals helps take the fogginess out. And so many times people are always going, but we almost don't even know where we're going. So it's helping to break it down and make it tangible and make it.
You actually take part of it and you can move it aside and let all the other craziness go on in your life, but you're actually able to define this thing, pursue this thing, and not only define it and pursue it, but during the pursuit, you don't lose the dream. You know, a lot of times when you have a dream and you're pursuing it, it can get shady, it can get hard to grab a hold of, but by keeping it in a SMART goal in that framework, you can actually accomplish so much more and so faster, and then still keep all the other stuff that's going on in your life. But at least when you have a dream and a SMART goal and you're pursuing it like this, it allows other people to get around you. So the secret sauce of a SMART goal, the secret sauce of coaching, and I tell people this all the time, is support, encouragement, and accountability. And that support, encouragement, and accountability as you're pursuing a goal is what really helps stick it, which really makes it sticky in your life. And without that support, without that encouragement, without that accountability, it's really hard to accomplish stuff. And if you don't make a goal SMART, it's hard to get support. It's hard for someone to encourage you because they don't know where to encourage you in. And it's really hard to have someone hold you accountable in it because they don't know what your goal is. They don't know what the end goal is. They don't know what the end date is. So SMART goals really help all those things.
That's why coaches help people make SMART goals, so they can help them. That's awesome.
So I actually built a tool on my website for your team. I haven't told you about this yet, but it's St.Germaincoaching.com/SMART. And it's a 3-day course on how to build SMART goals. And it's totally free. It's up there. They can visit it, check it out, no obligation. And I just want to help your team succeed. I want to help Fit Realty succeed, and it's my gift to you. So.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You bet.
Merry Christmas. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you, Todd, for coming out. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Good hanging out with you guys.
And hopefully we'll have lots of great stuff in the future.